The music in this video was performed and recorded by myself. Happiness. We all seek it. We all want it. But why? In today's video, I'll be answering that question using both my own philosophy and additional sources. But first, let's answer a simpler question. What is happiness? Google defines happiness as the state of being happy. Well, that's helpful. Luckily, verywellmind.com has a more fleshed out definition. Alright, so what is happiness? Well, according to verywellmind.com, happiness is an emotional state characterized by feelings of joy, satisfaction, contentment, and fulfillment. While happiness has many different definitions, it is often described as involving positive emotions and life satisfaction. Let's be honest, you probably didn't need to hear me read that fancy definition off of some website. You already know what happiness is. It's a fundamental part of life. In fact, it's arguably the one thing that everyone on earth can agree they want. The pursuit of happiness is a common goal across all humans. So could this point towards it being the oh-so-godly meaning of life? The universe we exist in is very odd. Oftentimes we are forced to wonder how and why we are here. The answer we're looking for can be known as the meaning of life. But how does this tie in with our question? Well, since everyone wants to be happy, it wouldn't be bold to assume that the meaning of life could be happiness. Everything we do on a daily basis is geared towards surviving and finding happiness. We'll get to survival later. It's a lot more difficult to answer why happiness is the end goal in specific. Perhaps we're being tested by celestial beings and the happiest people are chosen for some purpose. Perhaps happiness is harvested by these beings. I mean, this would explain why we have such a drive to be happy. Before we move on to my second theory, I think we should take a look at the science behind happiness. It may not explain why we need the feeling, but it should help. So, according to happyfeed.co, there are 4 chemicals that can be released in the brain that cause happiness. Dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail about these different chemicals. If you'd like to learn more about them, please click the link in the description. But essentially, they're released in the brain as rewards for certain activities or accomplishments, such as scoring a goal or even hugging. The chemicals release a good feeling in our body, almost the same as a drug would. In fact, many of these chemicals are drugs. However, in this case, they are good for you. So with those facts in mind, let's dive right back into our question. Why do we want to feel happiness? Okay, it's time to fill in what we know and work backwards. So, we want to do certain activities or achieve certain goals to feel happy, and we want to feel happy, of course, to get that good feeling, which our bodies give to us as motivation to get these tasks done. However, here we get to a blank in our information. What's the purpose of us achieving these goals? Why does our body give us this motivation? Why does it want us to do these things? Why is it so important that we do these certain activities? It's time for theory number 2. What if the happiness rewards we receive from our body are biologically engineered to keep us alive? For example, when we exercise or eat food, the happy chemicals are released. So perhaps happiness isn't the meaning of life after all. Maybe it's just the universe's way of motivating us to stay alive. Now, why the universe needs us alive is a question for another video. But for now, I'm pretty content with this second theory. So whether happiness is the goal in life or the means to a goal, the one thing I can be sure of is it's important. When making decisions, consider the future. Sometimes we do have to trade our short-term happiness for long-term happiness. A lot of people do struggle with this concept and believe that happiness should be achieved as soon as possible or in their present situation. This can lead to doing things you shouldn't, such as taking drugs or over-drinking, among many. Remember that while happiness is the most important thing in the world, alongside survival and love, you do need to ensure that you consider it along all walks of your life, not just your present situation. And with that last piece of advice, I wrap up the video. Please feel free to leave your own theories and philosophies down in the comments. Hope you enjoyed the video. That's all from me. Have a great... I almost forgot, if you don't like, subscribe and share this with your friends, the buildable bat will be very upset.